Good evening, race fans. Welcome here to Five Flag Speedway for tonight's Elite Snow Bash 100. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Joining me up here in the booth tonight is my commentary partner, Chris Wright. Chris, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Robert?
Doing good, buddy. A bit of an unexpected broadcast for us here this week. Well, I wasn't supposed to be on here. You were. And should be a good one here tonight. We'll take a look at the race format here. 100 laps tonight, top 24 from single car qualifying, and the top 8 from the Consi will all advance to tonight's Snow Bash 100. And Chris, we do have a couple cars still out on the racetrack here for qualifying, so we're going to take a quick look, see who's currently in those top 24 spots. As you can see, Jay Connor, Andrew Rucker, Trent Williams, Jesse Racimus, Justin Fuller, the top 5, followed by Trey Eidson. Just behind Eidson is where we find Todd Valdez, Timothy Watson, Mark Keeler up in 9th. Keeler doing a nice job. Ethan Stanley rounding out the top 10. Frank Fody as Thomas Axum jumps into the top 10. Carlos Acosta, EJ O'Rourke, Brandon Key, Ashley Ellison Jr., Jaden Racimus, Mark Murphy, Mitchell Javier, and Caleb Pecumer have all taken time so far. Jeff Green on the racetrack now in car number 38. For Do Good Motorsports. We'll see what he can do behind the wheel of that Turner Eye Care or Turner Eye Clinic machine. Also out on the racetrack, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver for Jordan Anderson Racing. That's the 31 machine tonight of Parker Retzloff. Retzloff, of course, an iRacing pro, as well as a pro in the real world. Currently out there on the racetrack. No stranger to success on the iRacing service. We'll see what he can do here. He's going for the lap number 2 strategy, Chris. So we'll see if he can slot himself up into that top 24. So we'll see if we can fix up that issue with our timing and scoring. Currently 26th on the charts for Retzloff. We'll see if we can pick up here on lap number 2, Chris, with about a minute and a half to go. Parker Retzloff comes across the line. Quick time for Parker Retzloff in the 24.
Yeah, coming in from the real world and showing these boys how it's done, I guess. I didn't really see that in practice. He picked up quite a bit from practice there. We had a 4 in practice here. We'll see if anybody can get down into the 4. Well, he just ran a 4. So not many 4s out there, only 1 in practice. He was able to find it. We'll see if anybody else can get down here and find the 4s, but it should be a great race. One of the things about tonight, you know, we're going to see in the main event tonight, is no tire changes. So these guys are going to have to manage their tires from start to finish. We'll see a lot of coming and going, I think. Should create some great racing as we take a look here at Scott Crump and the Stay Tuned Sports Machine.
Yeah, Stay Tuned Sports, of course, our Truck Series presenting partner as Crump goes 4th on the charts. Tyler Fody, the defending Elite Cup Series champion, out on the racetrack now. We'll see what he can do on lap number 2.
So weird to say defending. It just happened, you know, like 3 weeks ago.
Tyler Fody, the 10th. Vincent Isabella to the top of the charts there. Dustin Doer slides himself into that top 24, just barely. Current bubble driver Brandon Key, and it does look like everyone has completed their laps. Caleb Clinard, still to go, but doesn't look like he's gonna have enough time. Chris, we're gonna head to the Consi here momentarily. Gonna be 11 cars, actually make that 9 cars, top 8 going to that Consi. So we're going to be sending 1 car home here tonight. That always sucks to do, by the way. Hate sending anyone home. But let's take a look at the starting grid here in tonight's Snow Bash 100 Consolation race. Starting on the pole, driving the number 31 machine, it's Gerald Campbell alongside the 133 of Ashley Ellison Jr. Or number 2, the 3 machine of Kyle Hanshaw alongside the 00 of Jaden Racimus. Or number 3, the 07 of Josh Osborne alongside the 69 of Mark Murphy. Or number 4 is where we find the 58 of Mitchell Javier alongside the 59 of Caleb Pecumer. And rounding out the field will be the 196 of Caleb Clinard. So 9 cars, 8 spots.
And this is a one-off event here. We're running tonight. We're also going to run Wednesday night. So if you didn't know we had anything going on, you happen to find us on YouTube, and we're like, hey, I thought the season's just wrapped up. We'll be back on Wednesday night. But we do have the official in here, our admin tonight, who's going to make some calls on what happens and some different things like that. So Josh has joined us up here, Josh Adams. Josh, how are you going to do this race tonight different than maybe the rest of the season? Or will it be any different?
I wouldn't see it being any different. We're here under elite rules, so we'll try and call it just like we would any other week.
Now, obviously, one difference, though, Josh, from this race and a cup race in elite is we're not going to have tallies, because tallies really wouldn't mean anything in this race. We're going to have short track end of longest line penalties. So Josh has a little bit more power tonight, Chris, to kind of just say, hey, buddy,
I knew that was a thing,
you done messed up. You're going to the back.
I knew that was a thing tonight, and I was trying to give Josh a chance to talk about it and explain how it would go, but Josh was just like, I know, it's nothing different. Like, I was trying to help Josh out here and give him a little bit of something to go on.
Hey, I'm looking forward to sending some people to the back. Let's have some crashes.
No, what Josh is looking forward to is watching the Eagles tonight, who might be playing without Carson, or they are definitely playing without Carson Wentz, but they might be playing without
Jalen Hurts. But we will see what we can do here, boys, as we're going to get set here for this 25-lap Consi here this afternoon. It's going to be Gerald Campbell and Ashley Ellison on that front row. We'll see who's going to bring the heat, who's going to be the one driver to go home. And it actually looks like Caleb Clonard not going to make the green flag. So this is essentially just practice for these drivers. As 8 cars on the racetrack, 8 cars will advance to the Snow Bash 100 here tonight. I guess what they're battling for now will just be track position, where you're going to start in the big race coming up a little bit later on tonight. Glad you're with us, folks. Be sure to stay tuned for the Snow Bash 100 coming up in probably about 20 minutes or so. As we get set to go green here, it's going to be Gerald Campbell on the inside, Ashley Ellison up top. Chris, as we're getting set here, 25 laps coming at you. Who's your pick to take this Consi race?
Ooh, man, that's tough. My pick for this race, I'll take Gerald. He's a good short track racer. Give me Gerald.
Gerald Campbell, always a good pick. As Campbell going to get a nice jump on the inside. Ellison a little bit slower up top. Down on the inside, that is Kyle Hanshaw driving the vehicle that was to be driven by Johnny Thomas tonight. But Thomas, unfortunately, out due to a medical issue this week, underwent surgery. Wishing him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, hoping he's back healthy by the time next season rolls around. New teammate there for next season. Can't wait to be partnered up with Johnny and the rest of the Belly Up Sports crew starting next year.
Absolutely, as we do see Hanshaw clear Ellison up into that second spot. Gerald Campbell has cleared out to that race lead. As we're going to hop up, take a look from high above the field, see what these drivers are dealing with out there on the racetrack. A bit of a side-by-side back here as Jaden Racimus does clear Josh Osborne. Racimus currently finds himself there in that 4th spot, just ahead of Osborne, ahead of Mark Murphy, who is trying to get underneath that Josh Osborne machine. It shows 14 on the car, 07 on your scoring tower here tonight. And like I mentioned, the top 8 will advance directly to the A main here tonight. Only 8 cars took the start, so shouldn't be too hard. Side by side for third now, as Jaden Racimus going for position on the inside of Ellison. Ellison going to drop back now, going to be under pressure from Josh Osborne, as Osborne going to dive to the inside, take that hole opened up by Jaden Racimus and charge his way forward. Nearly contact there between Osborne and Ellison. We're going to see a lot of that tonight, Chris.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see a lot of contact. Maybe not so much in this race, especially now that everybody's going to get the race. They all know that. They're all well aware. But I look for the feature event, maybe not early because nobody can come in and get any tires. No tires out here. So I think the last half of that feature race later is going to be pretty exciting. And I've not really turned any laps at Five Flags. I don't know if you have. I know Josh has spent some time racing some late model races. Josh, can you tell us anything about what these drivers are feeling out here right now?
I'm really not so sure either. I haven't done a whole lot in this particular car, but it seems like you just have to drive the thing really hard. And I hear a lot of the guys in our chat earlier saying the car has a lot of grip, and with it being a night race, it might just be a fight for the bottom.
So we do ride on board there with Gerald Campbell. It's absolutely going to be a fight for the bottom, but you can make that high side work a little bit as well. And we're going to see that a lot in the Snow Bash 100 tonight and the race a little bit later on this week.
Jaden
Racimus goes around. Caution is out. First caution of the day here comes with the 00 of Jaden Racimus. We'll take a look on the Robiles Photography replay machine. That graphic needs to be updated as we watch Jaden Racimus go around just behind the 3 of Kyle Hanshaw. Was running third at the time. Noses it into the inside wall, just barely there.
Josh was just talking about all the grip that this car has. I don't think Jaden was able to find that grip down there. It looked like it went away. I'm not sure, he might have clipped down the flat a little bit right there.
Yeah, quite possibly. We're just going to jump away for just a quick moment. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds time. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at Five Flags Speedway. Just fixed up a technical issue there. We had another incident that followed the Jaden Racimus spin. Let's take a look and see what happened to both Ashley Ellison and Mark Murphy. Looks like it might have been the same incident here. Watching that 69 of Murphy up ahead of Ellison. Oh, wow. Chris, did you see that?
I'm not sure why that car was still sitting there.
Well, I think he was trying to spin around. We're going to go back and watch Jaden Racimus again. Keep me updated as well on the status. Wow, he's just sitting there a long time. That's well, a long time, though. Watching Mark Murphy come around.
I will say this,
Mark
though,
can't see the car until he gets there, but that 00 definitely should have been gone by that point. We are back out on board with Gerald Campbell on that restart. Definitely should have been gone by that point, Chris, but 9 laps to go. I thought we were about to have an issue there. Gerald Campbell, Kyle Hanshaw, Ashley Ellison, Mitchell Haver, and Mark Murphy, the top 5, followed by Josh Osborne, Caleb Pecumer, and Jaden Racimus. That is the field as they run. Campbell's led all the way through this one thus far. He's well on his way towards kicking off this event on the right foot with the Consi victory. 7 to go this time. No real battles on the track. A couple cars having some damage there, Chris, that definitely going to set them back a bit. But Campbell leading the way, and these drivers taking every lap, every corner as an opportunity to take some notes heading into tonight's event. And that's all that really matters for them, is that Snow Bash 100 tonight. This Consi, they didn't really want to be in it in the first place. So if they can work their way into the Snow Bash 100 and set themselves up on the right foot for that Snow Bash, it's going to be a good night tonight. And of course, the Derby on Wednesday night as well, which will be in the super late model, I do believe, Chris.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Wednesday. Like you said, you didn't know you were going to do this race until recently, but I've been signed up for both races for quite a while. Looking forward to both of them. You know, we're seeing a great race right here. Not as dramatic.
Josh
as it
Osborne
could have been.
around. Caution once again, and that's the 14 of Josh Osborne. We'll take a look on the Robotics Photography replay machine and see what happened to Joshua Osborne running by himself here. Dives it deep into the corner. Yeah, that's going to be something you're going to see all night long, Chris. It'll step out on you if you dive it too deep into the corner and throttle up middle of the corner towards the exit. But Osborne just now getting spun back around. That's an issue these guys are going to have to face all night long. You're going to go potentially a lap down, if not more, just trying to get the car spun around. And just in the dash, it's going to be a lot more cars out there, so a lot less opportunity to spin around.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Josh earlier. He said he thought these cars had a lot of grip based on driver feedback and whatnot, but that's twice now. We'll see if it happens again. I'm thinking that it doesn't have the grip that these guys thought, or something's going on over there as the tires wear with the right rear. But
now,
it looks like the center off of 4 specifically, they're really struggling.
Now, Chris, do we have any green-white checkered attempts in this Consi race? I'm not sure if we do.
We got 3, baby. We can line them up and do it 3 times.
We got 3 in the Consi as well? Yeah, we do. It just reset there. So, how many do you think we're going to use? You think just 1?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough drama with this race. You know, like I was saying there when that car spun, we don't have any real drama about a guy trying to make a move to get in. All these guys know they're going to race. I don't foresee any kind of dive bomb move or anything crazy right here.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what we get here with the restart. Of course, like we said, going to be a green-white checkered finish. And it's Gerald Campbell currently out front. We'll see what we can do with a 2-lap run to the finish line. Does Kyle Hanshaw maybe have something here for Gerald Campbell? Does Ashley Ellison stick that nose in deep and charge their way forward? Is Josh Osborne going to take that EOL, come to a stop on the track, fall to the rear of the field? That's another thing that could be risky tonight during the race, is when you do opt to fall to the rear with your EOL penalty. If you come too slow of a stop, that could potentially extend the caution flag, which usually leads to some disgruntled drivers.
I don't think it takes a whole lot to get some of these guys upset.
Absolutely not. In this Consi, not so bad. These drivers are all pretty laid back, pretty even keel, but
laid back. Do you spend much time around Gerald?
Gerald's my boy.
That's not laid back.
Oh,
Gerald is
soup
not laid
can
back.
up there. He can be laid back sometimes. We'll probably have a chance to maybe talk to him after this one, because we're gonna try to get the winner of the Consi in just before the Snow Bash 100. But pace car is off. Green flag is back out. It is the aggressive soup man Gerald Campbell on that loud pedal, and we are back underway. Chris, side by side for second. Ellison on the inside. Hanshaw up on the high side. Just behind them, it's Murphy clearing ahead of Josh Osborne, who's a lap down at this point. Going to be side by side for second. White flag displayed. 1 lap to go for Gerald Campbell. We'll see if he can close this one out. Looks like he's going to be able to. Hanshaw clears Ellison as they come through 3 and 4 for the final time here in the Consi. Checkered flag. Gerald Campbell takes the Consi over Kyle Hanshaw, Ashley Ellison Jr. That's your top 3, followed by Mark Murphy, Mitchell Havier, Caleb Pecumer, Josh Osborne, and Jaden Racimus. We are going to have just a quick warm-up to allow the drivers to find their pit stalls and whatnot, but let's see if we can have a chat with Gerald Campbell.
2 minutes, that's what you got. Go get you a drink from the fridge, hit that bathroom up real quick, and we're about 2.5 minutes from the green flag.
All right, we're going to pull Gerald in now, Chris, and we'll have a quick chat. Gerald Campbell, Robert Hill Jr., Chris Wright up here in the booth. Need a copy, my friend.
Oh, I do.
Well, you dominated the consi here tonight. What'd you learn in that consi that you could put towards tonight's main event?
You know, I'm excellent out there. You know, I feel it. I feel good out there, and I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome racing, and I think there's gonna be a lot of bumping and banging, and definitely gonna be a lot of hurt feelings at the end of it. And I am ready to do some bumping and banging.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. If I get up front, I'll be good.
Definitely gonna be rough. What's the key to success here for you?
Key to success is investing, and definitely looking towards the future. And right now that means just trying to stay out of trouble. And since there's not going to be any tire strategy, save your tires, and just try to see if you got something at the end. I didn't see a lot of tire wear, even after all those laps and everything. I didn't really see a big difference in the tire wear. So it's just going to be a knockout, I think. People are going to come in here, try to get the money. Not a lot of guys here know each other. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of respect. I think it's going to be something that's going to be left out on the racetrack, and whoever takes home the check is going to be the only guy leaving here happy.
Well, Chris, before we let Gerald go, any questions?
I just want to say congrats, Gerald. It was a great run there. Now you get to start in some traffic. You got to run out there at your own pace, and you kind of got a feel for what you got by yourself. What are you? How aggressive are you going to be here in this traffic, getting to start 25th as a reward for winning that consolation race?
I just saved the bumper for what's best here, and that's going to be going forward. So let's see how long that front bumper lasts.
And real quick before we send you out, do you think that there will be a second lane that will be able to be used tonight, or is it all going to be the bottom?
It's going to be the bottom. It's going to be the fast way, but the outside lane's going to be very dominant on being able to hold people off. I think that's where you're going to have people, especially coming out of turn number 4, where they're going to get a little bit too anxious and trying to make the pass. You're going to see people sliding up into each other, and I think that's what's going to cause a lot of drama. I think we're going to have a big pile up on the front stretch. Let it be known.
Well,
yeah,
Gerald,
I'll tell you this too. From the consolation race there, both spins were coming out of 4, so it looked like guys were starting to lose some grip over there. So just be aware of that tonight, Gerald. Good luck tonight. Come back, double down, talk to us, just like Michael Waltrip did there in 96 when he won the All-Star race.
I just hope they let me do a burnout at the end of it. I was hoping they'd give me enough time to do a burnout.
You can do it, buddy.
I want to do I'll do it right now. No, I'm joking.
All right, go for it. Good luck, bud.
See you guys.
That was Gerald Campbell, winner of the Consi here tonight. Chris, we are on the grid, so we're going to take a quick look at the starting lineup. Rolling off from the pole, driving the number 88 machine is Vincent Isabella alongside the 24 of Parker Retzloff. Row number 2, Jay Connor in the 9 alongside the 64 of Andrew Rucker. The 90 of Scott Crump and the 30 of Brian Macklin make up row number 3. Trent Williams in the 18 alongside Jesse Racimus in the 70 make up row number 4. Justin Fuller in the 51 and Trey Eidson in the 77 in row number 5. Row 6, Fody of Tyler Fody in the 40 alongside Thomas Axum in the 013 machine. Row number 7, Todd Valdez in the 96 alongside the 2 of Jeff Green. Row number 8, Timothy Watson in the 43 alongside Mark Keeler as we let the rest of the field roll on through. "33 drivers will take the green flag here tonight, Chris Wright. It's going to be one heck of a show. Who's your pick to take the victory?"
You know what? My pick is going to be Tyler Fody.
Tyler Fody, always a solid pick as the field gets underway. We are green. Tyler Fody, your pick. I'm going to go with Brian Macklin behind the wheel of the 30 machine, as it looks like both Caleb Pecumer and Chad Frankenfield will not make the initial green flag here tonight. They are going to have to start pit side and work their way forward here, Chris. So lots of work to do for them as we have an incident already. Macklin involved, Jesse Racimus, Mark Keeler, multiple drivers involved in this one. Doesn't look like anything too major, but we'll take a look anyways and see what happened.
Had some contact over there.
Watching the 30 of Brian Macklin up on the high side. That's Tyler Fode and Justin Fuller on the inside. The 70 of Jesse Racimus just drives right into the back of Brian Macklin, sends him for a slide, and that leads to multiple cars stacking up. We'll see the call from race control here momentarily, but Brian Macklin gonna have to work his way forward now after falling towards the rear as Frank Fode takes it pit side. Let's take another look at that one, Chris.
I will say this too. Chad Frankenfield lagged out right as the cars were rolling off the grid. Must be on that Philadelphia Eagles connection over there, not quite connected like it needs to be.
And I do apologize for the issue that we seem to be having here on our replay machine. Let's see what we can do to get that sorted out. But Chris, why don't you walk us through what we can expect here with still 96 laps to go?
Well, I think you heard Gerald, kind of put it all a nice little bow there. None of these guys don't know each other. Some of these names you'll see from Elite have raced together, but some of these guys, this is a one-off for Parker. You got Todd's in here. You got some other guys out here, Brian Macklin and some of these guys who don't, a lot of these guys don't race together. So there's not really any respect factor. It's when you race with the same guys every week, you know who races what way, who's going to, race you hard, not give you an inch, and you know who's, going to take that inch. But when you're racing people you don't know, leads to incidents sometimes, if somebody's over aggressive and does something, takes liberties, and you don't expect it, it's kind of like a dance. Even when you're racing somebody out there really hard and whatnot for a win, you're still working together to not wreck each other. And so it's hard to dance with a partner you've never been with before.
There we go. I just came back and all I hear is Chris talking about coming back and never been with somebody. I don't understand where Chris just went, but we got that replay issue fixed up, so we're gonna get set to go back underway, Chris. It's Vincent
Thumbs up in
Isabella.
the chat if you understand where I went. If not, we'll find something different for next time.
Vincent Isabella, Parker Retzlaff on the front row, Jake Connor, Andrew Rucker making up row number 2, and Dave Huckleberry, thanks for your help there with that technical issue. What a saint that Dave Huckleberry is. We couldn't do anything we do here at ERM without Huck, so shout out to him once again. Hope you're having a good night with the wife. As we get set to go green, Vincent Isabella on the loud pedal. Chris, that's another one of your 2024 teammates right there in Vincent Isabella.
Yeah, lots of new teammates here. It's a new team. We're going in a little different direction, working with a different team. I'll wait and let you announce that whenever you see fit, but it's going to be an exciting season.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of an open alliance for Mountain Man Motorsports in 2024, working with a couple different teams, trying to build up our repertoire, but we'll go back to the race at hand here. There's Scott Crump on the inside of Andrew Rucker. I like that paint scheme that Rucker's running here tonight. Nice, I think that's a festive look on board the 64 machine of Andrew Rucker. Yes, it is. Promoting the Snow Bash 100. So
lots of bumper cars. Jeff Green's going to be around in the inside wall.
And he catches that. Old Hefe.
Lots of contact with
Goes
that inside wall. Oh, and we're wrecking down.
Oh!
Cars flying through the
Someone
air.
just
Oh, my
flipped.
goodness. We got one. And we're wrecking down in 1 and 2. Big wreck down here in 1 and 2. Todd Valdez down here. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
We're wrecking everywhere.
We got about 10 minutes of replays to watch here, folks, so stay with us. Let's take a look, see what in the world just happened. Watching from Ashley Ellison Jr. here. I believe this is the back of the pack incident. Frankenfield definitely got a piece of that. As you see Jeff Green, Ellison and Green come together. That leads to a huge stack up. Somebody ends up in the fence. Not sure who that is. That's the 58 machine. Is that Caleb Pecumer? Is that maybe the 59? No, that is the 58. See if we can.
Michael Javier, however you say that.
Mitchell Javier ending up in that wall. Let's see if we can find the incident up towards the front. Is that the one involving Frank Fode? Or was he involved in the one towards the tail of the field?
So that's.
And then
oh,
we
that's
just
that
had an
initial
issue under caution. The 18 continuing to blink there. Unfortunately, not able to find that incident that Frank Foti getting a little bit of error there, but not able to find the issue that we experienced under yellow. But let's take another quick run through the top 10.
Well, let's take a look at Todd here too. Did we get that down there in 1 and 2 with that big wreck?
With Valdez. He was involved in
I
There
believe
we
that's
go,
going to
Chris.
start with
Good
Scott
call.
Crump contact.
Watching
into turn 1.
the 96 of Todd Valdez, just behind Scott Crump, just on the inside of Jake Connor. Valdez dives it in there. Oh, Tyler Foti gets a piece of that one. Actually, a couple pieces, ends up into the Scott Crump machine. That one continues, though, from what I understand. Watching the 96 of Todd Valdez, believe he had an issue under caution as well. See if we can advance through,
I'll tell you
see
this,
what
lots of work
happens.
tonight for our admin there, Josh Adams. Josh, you able to keep up with all this?
So far,
Nah, Josh said there's no issues in this one. It's an easy one for him. That's what he said earlier, ain't it?
they did it. They made it pretty easy for me in the truck series last season, but not tonight.
Well, your top 10 as they run. Vincent Isabella, your pole sitter, continues to lead the way ahead of Parker Retzloff in second. Just behind them, Jake Connor in the 9 machine currently running third. Andrew Rucker in the 64 up top, currently in position number 4. Then it's Tyler Foti in car 40 down on the inside with Justin Fuller on his outside. Timothy Watson in 7th. Trey Eidson in 8th as they all move around here, mess everything
I'm
up.
gonna tell you what, they
Ethan
almost
Stanley and
wrecked
Brian
their
Macklin, the
pass
top
cars.
10, as we're going to get set to go green once again. Very tight quarters.
So
Some money on the
Max
line.
Just blew up under green, under caution.
What was
blew
that,
up?
Josh?
The 96 just blew up under caution.
Todd Valdez blowing up under caution. He's going to take it pit side along with the iRacing.com pace car machine as Vincent Isabella finds that loud pedal. We are back underway here. Green flag racing at 5 Flag Speedway as you watch the whole field go on by.
Was there a wreck under that last caution period there? I know there almost was there when we got to 1 to go with guys trying to fall to the back who were getting EOLs. That wasn't what blew the 96 up, was it?
I believe it was.
Interesting night so far, but we still got a lot of it to go. Taking a look out here, Vincent driving off a little bit here. We got Parker in second. He's cleared through to second. Battle for third on back here, double wide. Oh, 3 wide. We're looking 3 wide down the front stretch. Not going to back out. He's going to send it.
Yes, well,
and
Foti around.
Tyler Foti.
Tyler Foti into the outside wall. He is done for the day. He got
It's still
snow
rolling.
bashed.
It ain't done.
Oh, he's done. Foti absolutely. Actually, it might not be done. Tyler Foti got snow bashed right there, and he is
It was
not
sent 3 wide.
pleased.
I saw the 3 wide.
He is not pleased. I believe he's upset with
The 43.
the 43 machine. That's Timothy Watson on the inside. Trey Eidson up top. Foti and Eidson just come together there. We got to watch that again, Chris, because
Yeah, right here. Look, he doesn't hit it with the nose. It gets all the way around and hits flat on
Yeah.
the left side.
that's tough. I don't know that any... We're going to have to wait and see what Josh Adams has to say as Chad Frankenfield blinking very heavily as he comes down pit road. Issues for the kick in the tires machine. I think he might need to kick his modem and see if he can get that thing to start working once again.
Man, I'll tell you.
They're heated.
I apologize
They're
to
heated
Tyler
here, Chris.
Foti. I picked him to
Wow.
win. That was the jinx of the night. You know, I won with Gerald. You know, I picked Gerald. He won the thing. Picked Foti, and well, I guess he was in the way out there tonight.
Yeah, not.
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a word with Foti.
Yeah, we
Ask him
can
what he
definitely see if we can get a word with him. I don't know that he's done though. And
The
he
driver
just
says it's total.
driver just mentioned it is done. He's toasted. I want to point out a driver up in the top 10 here, Chris. I think if you look at the top 10 right now, you might know the direction that I'm going here. Someone that we don't usually see up in the top 10 in elite events, but nice to see him up there. Well, Rucker too, but I'm talking about that 08 machine, Mark Keeler, currently running up there in 10th. Started 16th tonight, now inside the top 10 in that Racing America machine. Really cool to see him up there in the top 10 here tonight. And we wish him the best of luck, as well as everyone else. And Gerald Campbell, he's 12th on the board. Started
I just want to
25th
point out for
tonight.
everybody watching, I was just joking about Andrew Rucker. Okay, like it's funny. He'll see it later and he'll laugh. I might even get a
I don't know that
message
he's
back.
gonna laugh.
Yeah, he might have some special words for me that I can't say on a broadcast. But if we can't have fun, what can we have out here?
That's right. That's right. We're getting set.
Frustration if we're tied to the 40, I guess.
We're getting
frustration.
set to go green, though, Chris. We're gonna ride on board on this restart with Rucker. Andrew Rucker, the 64 machine, gonna be the car that we're on board
I'm gonna
with.
go ahead and call it now. The action cam. There's contact right here. It might be right here. I'm done, Rucker. I promise.
Yes, we are green flag racing once again. Vincent Isabella on the inside.
Oh, we got contact. Trey Heisen's up the track.
Ooh,
Three wide once again. It
Fuller
worked so well the last time.
slices, dices, and well, nearly rices that Andrew Rucker machine as Retzlaff falls back to third. Jay Connor to second. Justin Fuller now to position number 3. You see EJ O'Rourke back here in that 8th spot. Another one of the units machines as Timothy Watson gets moved up the racetrack. Retzlaff trying to find his way down to the inside as well. There he goes, down ahead of Ethan Stanley. Stanley with a nice Christmas wrap here tonight as well. Blue Egg Marketing on board that machine. Shout out Blue Egg, the marketing department for small businesses, as he's going to take a look to the inside of Parker Retzlaff. Not able to get there. Mitchell Javier coming back out onto the racetrack after a quick dabble.
We got contact. The 41 and the 43.
Wow. Wow. That was, I believe that was EJ that got a piece of the wall. We're okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Definitely
That was
damage
interesting.
on the right front of the EJ O'Rourke machine. He currently finds himself 8th behind Trey Eidson. Let's take a look at some of our broadcast buddies out here on the track. Carlos Acosta driving the 3-wide TV number 104 machine currently finds himself 17th, and just behind him, the man that is like an encyclopedia and every kind of boring book you can imagine all put together, Mark Murphy currently
the
running back
43
there
again.
in 18th.
Big
Is Timothy
contact here.
Watson gonna get collected? There's Brian Macklin around
Gets
on the high
clobbered
side.
after the caution.
Macklin. Fuller,
Oh, man.
not happy with Rucker either. We're going to have to take a look at that one too as we watch Brian Macklin on the inside of Timothy Watson. We'll see what happens. Macklin comes up into Watson, sends himself around. You mentioned Macklin getting clobbered once again. Oh, yeah, there he goes. I believe that to be the Mitchell Javier machine. No, it wasn't. That was Ashley Ellison in that 133 as Rucker doored the 51 of Fuller. And we'll see what happened with that one.
Tell you what, we just had a
There it
question
is.
in here that
Very
I think
light.
is just crazy. Somebody asking for a
Yeah,
meatball
that was kind of funny. I heard that
Yeah,
one. That's
this
not
is-
gonna happen.
This isn't some trickle-down effect league here that you get your damage fixed like it on a video game there on NASCAR Heat or something.
We'll be right back in about a minute and a half here, folks. Stay tuned. It's the Snow Bash 100 live on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at Five Flags Speedway. Pace car is off, and we're about to get set to go green. Once again, Vincent Isabella on the loud pedal, Chris Wright, and we are back underway.
Yeah, Vincent gets away again. Looking 3 wide there.
3 wide again. Jay Connor, Justin Fuller, and Ethan Stanley, as it's Stanley on the inside, Fuller up through the middle. Contact between Stanley and Connor as they're going to be able to clear through. Here comes the 41. That's the EJ O'Rourke 41,
wide.
not the Frank Fody 41.
3 wide has not worked at all tonight, and these boys just keep on trying it.
Yeah, these guys definitely trying to do whatever they possibly can here tonight, Chris. As we take a look a little bit towards the rear of the field, Scott Crump finds himself currently in that 20th spot, trying to work his way back. Mark Keeler just outside the top 10. He's currently running 11th, trying to get by the car that's currently on the high side of him. And just ahead of them there, Trey Eidson and Gerald Campbell, as Campbell into the top 10, currently running 8th, looking for 7th on Parker Retzloff here. Can Gerald Campbell possibly pull off the double? Still a long way to go, but he's had a great run thus far as EJ O'Rourke battles side by side with Jay Connor. Connor now back to position number 6. EJ O'Rourke into the top 5, sorry, as he's chasing down Ethan Stanley, Justin Fuller in third, Andrew Rucker all over the rear end of Vincent Isabella. We have a battle for the race lead as here comes Rucker. Isabella comes down to block. Rucker takes a look to the inside, not able to get there as we have a battle brewing here for the top spot. Chris Wright.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about something here. Gerald Campbell told me that he did not think there was going to be a second lane, but he is using it, and he is gaining just a little bit every lap. And right now he's found Parker Retzloff, who I think Parker is saving tire quite a bit, but somebody might want to tell him that saving tire is not really going to work in an elite race. We're not playing yellows.
If we get a green flag run there, Mr. Pessimist.
We're wrecking. What are you saying there about a green flag run?
Keeler into the outside wall, hard into the opening. Let's take a look and see what happened. Keeler said he was run over.
No, I believe that was Dustin Dewar.
Yes. That was
Dustin
indeed Dusty Dewar. Watching Mark Keeler. Well, he gets run over too. That's the 21 of Brandon Key. Absolutely slaughters him. Just behind them, another incident, though, develops.
Where does Dusty get hit? Oh, there's Dusty. Oh, head on too with the 69.
Dusty looks like he gets hit from behind by the red
Dale
car.
Cars out here.
That's the 8 machine that's part of tonight's race. As Vincent Isabella hold on to the lead, Rucker going to be second as Brian Macklin, Chad Frankfield, and Mark Murphy hit pit road. I'm not going to comment because I'm not sure who it is tonight.
You're not?
Absolutely not. Chris Wright?
I believe this guy was on Cheers way back in the 90s. His name was Harry.
Don't believe so. as we run through the top 5. Just went through there. Isabella, Rucker, Fuller, Stanley O'Rourke. Now Jay Connor, Parker Retzloff, Gerald Campbell in position number 8. Trey Eidson in 9th in the red car there in 10th.
I do want to talk about something here. All right, we got new partner coming on board. We got a new podcast starting, new everything here. Lots of new stuff. Watch the Elite Twitter. Keep an eye on Elite Twitter for all kinds of special announcements that may be coming soon. Coming down the pipe, working with Belly Up Sports. They're really excited about doing it. All those boys over there. Johnny Thomas, of course, longtime partner at Belly Up Sports. Everybody, I mean, go out there, check out Belly Up Sports. There's a podcast for everything and every sport that you could imagine. And we are all really excited about Belly Up coming on board. We're going to miss Join APS. They've been a great partner. You know, been with the lead a long time, but we're really looking forward to working with Belly Up Sports and those boys. It's going to be a great partnership, and it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of different ways to interact here with the league coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And we are going to go green with half the race to go. So 50 down, 51 to go now, as we will go green with 50 laps remaining. Looks like everyone trying to get sorted out. Mark Keeler going to fall a little bit to the rear there. See what we can do on this restart. Chris, Vincent Isabella, the control car on the inside. Andrew Rucker up on the high side. We're going to hop on board with Justin Fuller, who's going to restart in position number 3 on the inside of row number 2, nearly into the back of Vincent Isabella. Fuller with a good restart, gets by Andrew Rucker, as Rucker going to fall back to 3rd, dives down to the inside. Ethan Stanley, the car that's stuck up on the high side. EJ O'Rourke just behind him. Now as Stanley gets down to the inside. Retzloff also on the inside behind, as well as Trey Eidson, as we had a car in the wall there just a little bit towards the rear. Yellow flag is out once again. Looks like
Mark
a Fody.
Murphy.
One of the Fodies collected there, as well as Murph Markey in that 69, and Mark Keeler, as well as Mitchell Javier. Let's see what happened to bring out our latest caution.
Ooh, a
little bit of netcode there between Key and Javier, and then Murphy clears himself up in front of the Mitchell Javier machine. The 41 of Frank Fody, nowhere to go.
I don't know. I won't say Mark cleared himself. There was a lot of room there still to the right of the 58.
It doesn't matter though. You're on the inside. It's up to you to hold where you're running. And Javier's running his lane, doesn't move up, doesn't move down. Murphy moves up 2 lanes, clears himself in front of the Javier machine, and turns himself off his nose. If I'm race control, I'm calling that on the 69 of Mark Murphy every single time, every single day, as he clears when he's not clear.
I'm just saying, you know, speaking from experience and whatnot, like you expect that guy to maybe run up towards the wall. He's running about at least a full lane off the wall, and I think Mark just expected to have, you know, maybe 6 more inches there that he didn't.
I'd say I definitely agree with Robert. You can expect whatever you want, but you've got to know where they're at. Once he gets off pit road, he will get that UL for caution cost.
I think knowing Mark, it might not come back off pit road.
we'll see.
The severe damage that he just took there.
He's got the right front pointing out, the left rear pointing out. Everything's pointing, looking like Pinocchio out there on that 69 machine. We'll see if he comes back out. But let's run through the field, Chris. Why don't you take us from the top here?
Well, there we are looking at the fastest Dale Jr. car tonight. Vincent Isabella led the bulk of this race, looking to try to keep control here, and all these yellows are making it where it's going to be pretty easy. You got Justin Fuller right behind him there. He's going to try to take the fight to him. We'll see if he can do it. It's going to be hard to pick a pass here if we keep getting yellows. Then you got Andrew Rucker. He's right there in 3rd place. Ethan Stanley in P4. EJ O'Rourke in position number 5 there, followed by Jay Connor. Parker Retzloff is back to 7th. I imagine we're going to see him pony up and show what he's got here and bounce off the tire saving strategy he's on. You got Trey Eidson back there. We've seen him around a lot of incidents tonight, but so far he has remained out of most of it. Dustin Dewar. We saw him get turned around under caution earlier. And then Gerald Campbell right there won that qualifier earlier. He's taking himself up here and going to have a shot to win the race. And then we got that driver there, ineligible driver, ineligible #Harry driver right there. And we're getting ready to go back green here.
As Vincent Isabella's car decides it wants to hang around on the screen just a little bit longer. There we go. We got rid of it. Now we're back underway. Isabella and Fuller gonna take it to battle here. Fuller up on the high side. Vincent Isabella tries to clear high, not able to get there, as we're gonna monitor the cars towards the middle of the field.
I just saw something not very smart in the back, and I'm gonna call it out here.
Yeah, call it, bud.
You know, they were diving in 3 wide down into turn 1 here. The last 3 cars in line. Let's be a little smarter than that out here. Contact up at the front. He put the bumper to him.
Fuller
Let him gather
just
it up.
behind the Vincent Isabella machine. Rucker just behind him. Fuller to the inside of Isabella. Contact through the corner. Contact once again. Side by side for the lead. Rucker nearly gives the bumper there to Justin Fuller. 40 laps to go this time at the line. Isabella nearly gets the outside walls. Fuller continues to charge hard on the inside as Fuller nearly clips the apron. Contact. Justin Fuller around. Your second place car, Justin Fuller, goes around on the racetrack. Caution once again. Let's take a look and see what just happened, Chris.
I'm going to tell you, I don't think Vincent was going to give him an extra inch after got, the bumper used on him there with 40 to go.
Taking a look here, Justin Fuller on the inside. Slides up into the side of Vincent Isabella, and he simply puts himself around. It's not necessarily a matter, Chris, of the space. You see the 51 car slide up. Vincent Isabella does move up the racetrack on exit of the corner. Not necessarily as high as you might expect, but the Fuller machine gets into the side of Isabella, and I don't think Vince did anything wrong there.
Oh, I don't think he did either, but Vince might have gave him an extra.
100%. He might have moved up a little bit more had the bumper not been used earlier. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
The contact established the pass. Really, that's how he got beside him was the contact, and I'm sure that Vincent was like, "Okay, you're not getting any extra space out here if that's how you're wanting to race already with 40 to go."
Chris, Gerald Campbell, position number 6, came through the consi. Up 19 positions here tonight. This guy's worked his tail off to get towards the front.
Well, he was pretty confident. He felt like he had a good piece there before the race, after he won the consolation race there, the last chance qualifier type deal there. And he said, I don't think there's going to be a second lane unless you're trying to defend, but he has done a lot of passing up in that second lane. I've been watching him. He's moved around. He's kind of been able to run wherever, so I think that tells me he's just got a lot of speed, and you can put that thing anywhere to make passes.
Another driver that's impressed me thus far, just kind of staying out of incidents, working his way forward. The 00 of Jaden Racimus currently finds himself 14th on the track, up 18 spots from the start of the race. Also came through the consi, so a nice opportunity here for
his
Racimus.
His last chance race was not nearly as smooth as what Daryl's was. We saw him spun around. He had a very exciting.
He got clobbered.
So this has been just night and day difference from what he was at.
And then back here, taking a look, Justin Fuller gonna have to restart at the tail of the field.
We got Fody getting the NEOL too. Can we get reasoning for that? Is there something we missed under this yellow?
He made a pass at the back of the field before the start-finish line.
So restart
Wow,
violation right
Tyler.
there, is that what you're saying, Josh?
Tyler Fody. What a guy.
Restart violation right there, so.
Here we go. Walk us through this restart, Chris.
Well, we're going to go down here. We're going to have 34 laps to go at the green. Great jump there once again for Vincent. Struggling on the outside lane. It's going to bring Parker all the way back to 3rd place here. It's going to drop Gerald back a little bit from where he was. First 2 are clear. Side-by-side battles on for 2nd. Trey Eidson trying to get up in this battle for the lead. Nearly contact there with the Harry machine.
Has
Does EJ have what it takes to go get Vincent right here, you think?
EJ
Or
has
is
some
Vincent just
pretty
running-
decent damage on that number 410 machine.
Spinning in the back, spinner in the back.
Spinning in the back,
Brian once
Brian
again.
Macklin going around. I gave him an absolute curse here tonight. As we'll take a look on the Robilos Photography replay machine and see what happened to the 30 of Brian Macklin. Macklin on the inside, slides up. Ooh. Gets clipped by Josh Osborne there, as well as Brandon Key. Key, I think, is probably going to get one of the bigger pieces of that here, Chris, as they do come together, nearly hitting that inside wall. But
Yeah, I was just curious what happened here. It looks like Brian washed up in the middle of the corner, maybe drove in too hard, had to check up, nearly hit the car in front of him, then got hit from behind. And like you mentioned, Key hits him pretty hard.
So does get clipped by Osborne. Osborne gets a big piece of the wall. Macklin gets the inside and the outside wall. So we are...
I do want to take a minute here.
Yeah.
Look at that Andrew Rucker paint scheme. I've been giving him a hard time tonight about, some things, but look at that thing. It looks great.
Yeah, it's a little dark on the racetrack here. So hard to fully see that paint scheme that Rucker's running tonight, but number 64 machine, let's see if we can get a bit of a closer shot of that one.
It's snowing. It looks great. Look at that. Looks
The Elite
fantastic.
Snow Bash 100 machine. Pretty cool to see that on the Andrew Rucker car. There's some pretty cool paint schemes out here tonight, Chris. Obviously, you got the classic with Vincent Isabella. You have the basic units machine for EJ O'Rourke. Parker running his Xfinity paint scheme. Rucker with the Christmas scheme. Trey Eidson, another Christmas scheme. That one's really cool. It looks like wrapping paper, as well as Ethan Stanley's. Gerald Campbell running
American Eagle, baby. American Eagle.
pretty
They told me.
busy paint scheme.
If you could get a shot of the hood, it's got a big old eagle on it. It looks good when you get close.
It does. I love Carlos's paint as well. I think it's a Charlie Brown, because I think I see Snoopy on the side of it, which is always cool. Just kind of taking a look through.
I think the school has a song by that. They're pretty bad at football, though.
Chad Frankenfield also running a Christmas scheme. Looks like an ugly Christmas sweater. Pretty fitting for Chad.
I'm taking pop shots at NFL teams, college teams tonight.
Yeah, you're shooting everyone here this evening.
Well, I thought I'd get a reaction from somebody that's with us here when I did that. but no
Hanshaw
reaction.
with the Belly Up machine. Once again, shout out Belly Up Sports coming on board as the Elite Racing League Cup Series sponsor this upcoming season. Cool to have them with us. Gonna be a fun time, like you mentioned. Lots of cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned to the Elite Socials as we're getting set to go green. Pace car making the turn down to pit road. 26 laps to go as we get the green flag here. Vincent Isabella finds the loud pedal, and we are underway. It's Isabella, O'Rourke, and Retzloff, the top three, as we duke it out here. Isabella going to try to clear ahead of O'Rourke. He does this time. O'Rourke tries to clear himself to the bottom. Not able to get there. Going to battle back up on the high side by side. O'Rourke and Retzloff for second. It's Rucker and Eidson just behind as Scott Crump going to fall back a little bit here. He's trying to chase down Carlos Acosta, who's trying to work his way into the top 10. O'Rourke and Retzloff continue to be side by side. O'Rourke up on the top, nearly into the outside walls. Retzloff going to charge on the inside here, Chris. Parker Retzloff to second, clears EJ O'Rourke, and now has his sights set on the rear end of the Vincent Isabella machine with just 23 laps to go.
Yeah, I think Parker's got a little bit of something here. I was worried he was going to get too far back trying to save tire, but he's able to get here. The restarts have worked in his favor. Now we'll see if he can take the fight to Vincent. I think Parker's the guy here. If anybody can, he seems to have the speed from practice, had the good speed in qualifying. He's the guy that can take this fight to him.
As we
And we'll see
ride,
if Gerald can get there. These restarts have not worked out well for Gerald. He got to about P6 and has been in the wrong restart line every time.
as we ride on board the nose cam of Parker Retzloff, watching to see if that bumper.
Contact behind him. Trey Heitz's around. Gerald Campbell. Oh, it's big, boys. Here it is.
Oh,
We're
it's
gonna have
all the
15
big
cars
boys.
here. They're still piling
Wow.
in.
Campbell involved, Ellison involved, Murphy involved.
It sounds like Andrew Rucker is getting blamed for that wreck.
Sound like I heard something about feline bowel movements or something, Chris. As we'll
I heard a whole lot of things right there.
wow,
All
oh,
spoken by Gerald.
look at Trey Eidson. He gets turned by Rucker.
Ethan Stanley gets in there.
Wow.
A lot of these guys came in really
Dustin
late.
Durr. I heard Mark Murphy got involved in this somehow. No, he doesn't actually. Oh, yes, he does. Eidson drove into the Mark Murphy machine. Brandon Key got a late piece of that, in my opinion. Let's take a look and see what happened to get him involved. We're going to back this one up manually. You see that incident? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. He locks it down, just slides into Racimus, hits the
Man, I think he
ineligible
made sure to hit
driver.
every car, didn't he?
It was like ping pong balls out there. Wow. Let's ride on board with Gerald. I don't know why I just yelled there, but I guess audio alert. As we'll take a look here on board with Gerald Campbell.
Well, Gerald's thinking I've gotten to the front and missed the chaos. Now I'm going to be able to actually race. Little did he know what
Surprise.
was waiting here out of turn 4.
You see the incident start right here. Rucker turns the Trey Eidson machine. Gerald tries to go high, no room to get there. Ends up underneath Trey Eidson. I want to go on board as well with Dustin Durr because he piles into this one and finds himself still into the top 10 in 6th. That's rough. You see them go around here. He just stays on the gas, Chris. You can even see it afterwards. He doesn't even think about lifting, doesn't think about trying to not wreck everyone else in his sights, but he just stays on that gas pedal.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean,
YOLO, baby. In his defense, if he checks up, he probably does get hit.
yeah, but that's just terrible. That's terrible. A lot of these guys, man, they could have probably avoided this with just using a little bit of the brake pedal or just trying to slow down and try to steer around it. But
I hear they're using the ARCA brakes out here tonight.
Yeah.
We're going green here. With
we're gonna
15
go
to
green with 16 to go, Chris. We're gonna put the ARCA brakes to that 15 to go lap. As it is Isabella Retzloff and O'Rourke up here, Stanley, Connor, and Dewar the top 6. Then it's Acosta, Crump, Racimus, and Racimus the top 10. I want to watch this battle of Racimai. As they're going to be side by side. Actually, that's Crump and Jesse.
We got side by
by
side
side
for
for the
I'll go to the
lead.
top. I won't try to fight you for the bottom.
Retzloff gonna work the high side. Vincent Isabella gonna try to be the tough guy down on the inside as Stanley
Contact
and
behind him.
O'Rourke come
Ethan
together.
Stanley's
Ethan
around.
Stanley goes around. Let's see, is Dustin gonna hit the brakes this time as he doesn't come into play? Let's take a look, see what happened here to Ethan Stanley. We're gonna be less than 10 to go when we go green once again. Stanley,
he's gonna clip the flat.
he just dives it in there on the inside. Nothing that he could have done. Goes around, and that's gonna be probably Ethan Stanley's shot at victory here tonight. But with less than 10 to go, we should go green with Isabella, Retzloff, O'Rourke, Dewar, Connor, the top 5. Then Acosta, Jesse Racimus, Crump, Fuller, and Jaden Racimus, the top 10.
I'm gonna tell you, that was not ideal caution for Parker because Parker had made the move and it was a surprise. Vincent went down to protect the bottom. He saw Parker had a little bit of a run, tried to protect the bottom, and Parker just went right around the top. Now Vincent knows that is going to be an option because he was really inching up to him there on that high side. Eventually, I think, going to make the pass. So now that that's known that that's an option, it'll be a little bit better defended now, if I had to guess, for Vincent. So it's kind of taking a play out of Parker's book right there.
Well, Chris, we're going to step away for the final time here tonight, take our final commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you to the conclusion of the Elite Snow Bash 100. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here. We should be getting the one to go this time by restart with about 8 laps remaining in this one. It's going to be Vincent Isabella, Parker Retzloff on the front row, Dustin Dewar, EJ O'Rourke. Row number 2, row 3 is going to be Carlos Acosta alongside Jay Connor. Row 4, Scott Crump, Jesse Racimus, and row 5, Jaden Racimus and Justin Fuller.
And can we clarify something here? Dustin Dewar is running 4th. We saw all the damage he took that last couple cautions ago now. That nose is destroyed. You talked about how he should have braked and whatnot, but that destroyed the good machine. Still,
I would be interested in seeing if his brakes work here with just a couple laps to go. As pace car's off, we are back underway. Vincent Isabella on the loud pedal, but great restart there by both Parker Retzloff and EJ O'Rourke. They're going to be side by side for the lead. It's Isabella on the inside, Retzloff up top. Isabella slides up a little bit, trying to close that space off for Retzloff, but Retzloff using his
in the back,
experience.
Oh, it's a big one again. Oh, it's going to be bigger than the last one.
And we are under caution.
Oh, man.
Wow. Everyone just decided they were going to pay a visit to the wreck scene. Let's take a look,
the
see
leaders
what
are coming
happened.
here. Here come the leaders. Oh, and their car's sitting everywhere over here. Oh,
Isabella dodging a minefield. Jesse Racimus still stopped on the inside. Let's take a look and see what happened to Dusty Dewar. He's up on the high side of Jay Connor. Cuts down, clears himself just about in front of Jesse Racimus. Nowhere that Racimus could have gone as Dewar decided to fill the non-existent hole. Everyone else just piles into this one, Chris.
Yeah, you know what that is right there? Not clear. That's what that is.
You see Fuller, you see Crump, you see all the Racimi, you see Handshaw in there. Someone else piled into it late. Not sure how in the world the rest of these guys got. Oh my gosh. How did Mark Murphy get involved in this?
This was the wreck you didn't want to miss, right?
That's
this is
the 41. Is that Fody or Frank? Or, well, I guess they're both Fodies.
You know, yeah, that is a Fody.
Fody into the back of Gerald, up into ineligible. Mark Murphy gets back on the loud pedal and ends up just barely in the incident.
Incredible. That's incredible that those cars were in the wreck.
Not even sure how in the world. Ineligible driver in the 8 machine. Watch him here, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can't see.
He
right
ends
here.
up involved in this
exit.
one, gets back on the gas pedal, and then comes and drives back into Mark in the main incident. How do you drive into the same incident
those guys right there
twice?
that we just watched, I know they can't see off of turn 4 from the middle of 3. But
You
the
could see if your
caution
eyes
is
are open.
out. You got a yellow flag popping up on your screen.
Chris,
Why are we still carrying that much? You know the wreck is there. It shouldn't be a surprise.
you could
even
see if your
can't
eyes
see
are
it.
open. Open your eyes. You can
Well,
see
if you
something's
ride on
going.
board, look how
No, I
far
know.
you don't see. But you got a big yellow flag that pops up on your screen, so it shouldn't be a surprise. even if you
And
can't see it.
realistically, most drivers know where in the world the crash is happening. Like, you see it at some point. Lights are off on the pace car. We're gonna go green here with a green-white checkered. I believe this one's a natural, Chris. So not dipping into overtime as of yet. It's Isabella on the inside, Retzloff up on the high side, then O'Rourke, Connor, and Dewar the top 5. Acosta, Hanshawk, Key, Keeler, Crump, and Frankenfield just on the outside of the top 10.
Man,
as we
Parker might get
are
a black flag
green.
for that. Somebody might get a black for that.
Retzloff with a black flag here. Chris,
I
like you
saw it
mentioned.
coming. Wrecking in the back.
Coming to the white here, cautions
Jaden.
out. Jaden Racimus involved, watching for everyone else to pile in again. And they don't. Caleb Pecumer. In that one. You said Jaden Racimus. Ooh. Tyler Fody just turns Jaden Racimus, I believe.
Now, I know Parker's flag got cleared there, but...
Watching this one, Gerald Campbell slows up ahead of the ineligible man. Ethan Stanley checks up to avoid that as well. Then Jaden Racimus slows up, and Tyler Fody just drives into the back of the Jaden Racimus machine. Kind of just a domino effect stack up. And then Jaden gets collected by Caleb Pecumer just a little bit further back. But
I want to talk about that restart. I think Parker's black flag should have held. Leader held pace all the way through 3 and 4, even when that deal happened. And race control's agreeing with me here. So yeah, that race control agrees with me with that call there. I went back and looked at it myself. I definitely think the leader held his pace at 45, and then Parker was kind of rolling faster. And I get what Parker's doing. You gotta try to win the race.
Watching the replay here, Chris, watch the 88 on the inside. Retzloff trying to hold pace with him, actually jumps ahead of him a little bit there, but Isabella looks like he snaps the brake real quick to gather back up and reclose.
Like that, but when you watch the speed, it doesn't. He holds his race. He holds his speeds.
It's definitely tough here, but just a quick...
What happened is Parker was trying to roll with some momentum,
yeah,
and he just rolled too far.
Just a quick run through the top 10 as they sit. It's Isabella, O'Rourke, Connor, Acosta, and Dewar, the top 5. Then Brandon Key, Scott Crump, Kyle Hanshaw, Chad Blankenfield, and Mark Keeler, the top 10, as Parker Retzloff has decided to park it after that call by race control that has deemed him at fault for that restart violation. So one of our main contenders here tonight out of the races. Frankenfield continues to have a massive blinking issue on the racetrack. Almost appears that maybe the 15 should head pit side and fix up his issues, as he is likely to cause an issue here.
Here we go. Pace car is off. Great restart for Vincent. He
As
gets away.
Frankenfield pulls it pit side. Oh, EJ!
Oh,
with the
contact!
bumper!
Wow.
Wow! Oh,
They were wrecking
Jay
behind him.
around. Jay Connor around.
Green's
We
still
stay
out. No
green.
caution.
We're
No
gonna stay
caution.
green.
Caution
White
is out.
Oh.
Oh, big wreck down here in 3 and 4. Oh, Mark Murphy. All kinds of cars down here in 3 and 4. Gerald
That-
Campbell's down here.
Gerald's in there. Handshaw's in there. Oh, that's a little bit of short track fuming going on there at the back. Oh, this is ahead of the leaders. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Let's take a look here and see what in the world just happened. So, contact on the start between Crump and Dewar. O'Rourke tries to clean out Isabella. Then Connor slides up. Contact with Acosta. That sends Connor down into the inside wall.
I think Kyle Hanshaw here, is going to be the car that gets spun to trigger the caution down here in turn 3.
You see Rucker on the inside, Watson in the middle, Hanshaw up top, Connor's around there. Keeler gets into the back of Kyle Hanshaw, and that's what triggers the caution as Hanshaw goes around. Then you see multiple cars piling in. Fuller gets involved in that one. I believe you mentioned Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Mark hasn't found a wreck he didn't want to be in tonight yet. Oh, wait.
Mark just wants to make some friends out here heading into next season. Just wanted to play Ring Around the Rosie with them. And, you know, Red Rover. Mark Murphy's coming over. That's kind of how it's going here tonight.
And I'm going to tell you this, too. Vincent is going to be pretty upset about what happened.
If EJ gets by Vince, here, Chris, Vince is going to use that bumper and clean him out.
Man, I'll tell you this. I don't think Parker's going to be back into an elite event.
No. No,
There is some words that have been exchanged, but I mean, if you go back and look at that replay, I don't think there's any way Parker that can justify what happened. You watched the leader's pace and his pace. It was clearly the right call that was made. Can't break the rules, can't bend the rules just because you're a real life driver. NASCAR would have given him that black flag too.
So pretty much everyone that's decided to destroy their cars here tonight currently sitting inside the top 10. I think the only one that hasn't been involved in a wreck that's up here as of yet is Vincent Isabella. Carlos Acosta a little bit was involved in that Jake Connor incident, but everyone else has basically destroyed the race cars here tonight, as we have 14 cars still on the lead lap. They all have a shot at this victory here, Chris, as this is, I believe, green white checkered number 2. Can you confirm that, Chris? Is this the second of 3?
This is the second of 3 as we're coming down to get the green.
Here
comes
we go. Vincent Isabella on the loud pedal. EJ O'Rourke up on the high side. They're going to stack up behind them here. I believe we're already having an incident behind them. Hopefully we can stay green as O'Rourke up on the high side. Isabella down low. Isabella trying to clear EJ. See if we can get to the white flag this time.
On the apron.
These guys got to smarten up as the white flag displayed. This is finally the last lap here tonight. Only took 47 attempts.
Turn 1, but we can't leave the battle for the lead, but there's 10 cars in turn 1.
Isabella up front. Watch EJ probably going to use that bumper. That's Carlos as EJ tries to clear. Not able to get there. It's Vincent Isabella taking the Snow Bash 100 here tonight.
There's all kinds of cars down here.
Oh, Vince. Oh, as he gets collected. But, oh, no. Vincent Isabella gets collected there in the post-race incident. Victory for the 88 machine of Vincent Isabella. EJ O'Rourke second, and Carlos Acosta round out the podium. Scott Crump third, Andrew Rucker in Scott Crump fourth, Rucker fifth, Key in sixth, Osborne seventh, Dewar eighth, Eidson ninth, and Mark Keeler brings it home in position number 11 here tonight. I can't tell you. It's ineligible. It's ineligible. As we're going to step away, we'll be right back in just a few moments' time with our podium finishers. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here, just wrapping up the race here tonight. Carlos Acosta, our third place finisher, now standing by with Chris Wright.
All right, Carlos, man. Typically you're doing these broadcasts, but I guess we're going to see less of you in these broadcasts and more of you in these races, right? Get out here, run third. You racing Wednesday too?
Yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to make the show. I wasn't confident I was going to make it tonight, and based on most of practice, I wasn't. I was like second or third to last. I don't know where this came from. At some point, it started clicking, and then even then, I was like 20th place pace. I feel like I'm a Fiat among Ferraris right now.
I'll tell you this, man. I think the name of the game tonight was to not be in any of those big wrecks or not sustain a whole bunch of damage. I mean, what was it like out there?
It wasn't chaos, but it was definitely a bit chaotic there. Yeah, that was definitely my goal, to not get involved in incidents, and I did a phenomenal job, 10 out of 10, for 80% of the race. And then that last 20%, when I was up towards the front, there really wasn't anywhere I could go. I got caught up in two big incidents. Thankfully, I only got minor contact for, I'm still out here running. My car's still out there. But I don't know how iRacing tracks the cars, but I kept on getting my spots back. So I'm not going to complain about that. And I don't know how I got third. I was expecting a top 10 once, I got towards the last 80% of the race. But finishing third and talking to you guys in the podium is absolutely not what I expected. But that last restart, those last couple restarts, I was dialed in. I felt like I probably couldn't have won, but I felt like if any of these drivers made a mistake, I would have been in victory lane.
I'll tell you this. You might have the quote of the night. That wasn't chaos, but it was a bit chaotic. I mean, that's kind
It
of
was something, all right.
But anyway, so what are your expectations for Wednesday now after tonight?
Oh boy, I'm doing the same thing. Of course, I've always struggled with qualifying pace, with the exception of super speedways. But we're not here. We're not there, obviously. So it's gonna be an uphill battle trying to qualify for the main event. Only one driver went home tonight. But I expect there to be a lot more drivers vying for these 32 spots on Wednesday. So that's going to be harder to do, but I'm going to give it the best I can. I don't think I'll be available tomorrow for the practice session. So I'm going to hop in with the hour practice that we have here on the server on race day, most likely, and just going to do the best I can. That's all I hope for.
Well, all right, Carlos, before we let you jump out of here, who helps get it done for you?
I want to thank everybody in my family who's allowing me to take time out of my night with them so I can be here tonight. I want to thank everybody in Elite Management for putting on this fantastic race. And it's my first time in a long time since like the first couple seasons of Elite that I've been driving here under league, under official rules and everything. And I got to say, I'm impressed with the management. So got to thank them. I want to give a shout out to Johnny Thomas. I know he's recovering from surgery. Hope you're doing well, Johnny. Hope to see you out on track next season. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna try to run as many series as I can next season. Currently a free agent, but might just run my team. But it'll be fun. I want to thank you guys as well for the broadcast. I know it was a little chaotic earlier today, but we got everything settled. You guys put on a phenomenal show. I had it on in the background. And it's all I just can't believe I'm here.
Well, all right, Carlos, congrats on the run. We can't wait to see you Wednesday night and go out there and get you a couple spots better on Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
That was Carlos Acosta, your third place finisher here tonight. Now standing by with me, the runner-up, EJ O'Rourke. EJ, up and down night for you tonight. Got involved in a couple incidents in the early portions of the race. Started all the way back in 22nd, coming home second here tonight. What more did you need to get by the 88 of Vincent Isabella?
Yeah, Robert, I'll tell you what, this 41 units storage, 41 Camry was real fast tonight. Just I needed to stay green there in that second to last restart. I gave him a little boot and scoot there, and I was underneath him, and I was pretty much dead even with him on the line. coming to the what would have been the white. So just need a little bit more there, but P2, I'm real happy with that.
Now, obviously, it's tough when you get so many cautions here. How do you stay focused with your mindset and just keep your eyes focused on that victory and chasing down the leader, who was, of course, Vincent Isabella?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really even know what to expect. I botched qualifying lap there and started 22nd. Quickly made my way up to the top 10. I just kept, 10th, 5th, 3rd, 4th, and like I never know, could have a shot at that. Vincent was real fast. Parker Retzlaff obviously is always real fast in these things, and really anything he drives on here. So I didn't really know. I figured, we'll see what happens. You never know.
That's exactly it. You never know. And EJ, Wednesday night is the Derby in the super late model, but I'm not sure if you've entered that one. I believe you have. And if you have, what can you take from tonight's race and put it towards Wednesday night's notebook?
Well, I think really the biggest thing is just being patient, especially, tonight was 100 laps, even though it was a lot of yellows. Wednesday's 300 in the super. Tires, keeping the rubber on the Hoosier tires is going to be real important. It's going to be real slick out there. Obviously, a lot more horsepower in the super. So we'll see. Just trying to, we got to make the race first. That's object number one. If I can make the show, we'll see. So just go take care of your stuff. You never know. I mean, hey, it might win the Snowball Derby on, so you never know.
Yeah, that would definitely be a nice way to cap off the week. Second in the Bash, first in the Derby. That would definitely be a positive way to end the 2024 elite or 2023 elite season. Trying to write off a year already, but not quite there yet. But EJ, before we let you go here tonight, you mentioned units on board. Who else gets it done for you here?
Yeah, just got to thank Wade Malik over at Units for a last minute deal getting together. Threw the logo on the hood there, and was able to get this car store late model stock to the racetrack here in Pensacola. Got to thank you, Robert, everyone here in the broadcasting team for everything you guys do over here at Elite. It's a great league. I'm new to this league, still looking for my first win here, so it'd be real cool to to win here. I really wish I had one more shot at him there. I came real close, but I don't want to wreck someone for the win, but so we'll see. But congrats to him. He was real fast, and we'll try to get him on Wednesday.
Well, best of luck to you Wednesday night, EJ. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see what you can do in 2 days' time.
Appreciate it, Robert. Thank you for everything you guys do. If I don't talk to you guys before the season's over, Merry Christmas, and see you in 2024.
You too, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
That's EJ O'Rourke, the runner up here tonight. Now standing by with Chris Wright, the man of the hour, Vincent Isabella, your race winner of the Snow Bash 100.
Well, Vincent, it was pretty calm for you most of the race. You got a little bumper tag there a couple times, but I'll tell you, if you could have seen what was going on behind you, man, oh man, there was some great action out there tonight. But how did you keep your track position, and did you just throw tire saving out, knowing that typical elite fashion we might have 25 green flag laps tonight?
Honestly, I saved a little bit when I saw Parker throw the anchor out at the beginning there, so I saved a little bit for like the first 25, but after that everybody was all up my ass or shit. They just, running hard, so I had to. Threw a couple of bad blocks, but had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, you had to do what you had to do. Can you talk to us a little bit about that restart from your vantage point there when Parker got that black flag that he did not agree with?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the 8,300 I rating talking or if he's a big shot pro or what, but he led me through the entire box, and I went when I had to. I kept the thing at 45 miles an hour the whole time. So it's cut and dry in the rule book.
Well, and you had a little bit of a off year here, struggled for most of the year in the Lake Norman cars. Turned it around here in the off-season race. Can we expect to see more victories from you next season now that you're on maybe a little bit of a better team?
Yeah, I am running full-time in Xfinity and Cup next season and part-time in the trucks because being a past champ. So that'll be fun. Dabbling into IndyCar this season as well, so we'll see.
All right, I will hand you off to Robert here, see what he's got for you.
Well, Chris, shots fired there, saying we're a better team. I don't know about that. They just won the cup title, but we'll see what we can do next
Yeah, I
season.
hope I didn't hurt the ability of us getting motors from them.
Vince, you led every single lap here tonight. 112 laps, including 12 overtime laps tonight. What the heck did you have figured out that these other guys didn't, aside from just staying out front when the caution came out?
Qualifying was key. It's very tough to pass without wrecking somebody at this track, especially with these cars. You can't bump. So I made sure that's all I did all of practice was just qualifying. And when it came to the race, we'll get to that. But got the pole, luckily, put down a good lap, and just trying to keep my starts good. I mean, I never switched my clutch over to the anti-stall. So it was on auto blip, so my restarts were terrible tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Qualifying certainly did come into play. Just a few guys really able to make up ground throughout the event. But looking ahead to Wednesday night, Vince, obviously you have to be one of the early favorites heading into the Derby after absolutely dominating tonight. What can you take from this one and add it to your notebook for the big event Wednesday?
Absolutely nothing. The cars are completely different. I think you're going to see a lot of pacing on Wednesday. The car's harder to drive, and if anything is like tonight, it's going to be terrible.
Well, you heard it right there. Absolutely nothing translates from this race into Wednesday, so clean slate for everybody. Fresh notebooks. We'll see what they can come up with. But Vince, before we let you go here tonight, who makes it happen for you?
Lake Norman, Mountain Man Motorsports, both teams that I drive for now. Obviously, that's you, my car owner.
It is.
Mrs. Goody's Goodies, Home Place Beer Company, all those guys, who've been my sponsors forever. Like Chad said just now, Vince wins big races. It's what I do. I won the firecracker that we ran. I won the first 87 race at Daytona. Just add this to the list of races that aren't in a NASCAR season that I've won.
Well, let's see if we can mark some of those big races off in the NASCAR series coming up in 2024, but just one race to go here in 2023, and we'll see what you can do Wednesday night, Vince. Congratulations on a victory here tonight, and best of luck Wednesday in the Derby.
Thank you, sir.
That was Vincent Isabella, the winner of the Snow Bash 100 here tonight, Chris. And what a race that we had out here. Lots of cautions, but I think that's to be expected when it comes to short track racing.
Oh, this was great. We got a lot of guys mad at each other already. I don't know who's coming back for Wednesday and who's not, but we already got people ticked off. I hope, you know what? I hope Parker returns. I hope Josh is able to do Wednesday night and we can have that little bit of a rivalry going on. Hopefully, we get to see all these rivalries finished up here on Wednesday night right before Christmas, and it should be exciting. Tonight was something else. A lot of big wrecks, a lot of craziness, a lot of just not giving a you-know-what tonight. I mean, just insane racing, and then Vincent coming home as the winner, leading all the laps, getting the pole. I mean, when we did see some side-by-side racing, it was great. We saw Vincent run side-by-side with Parker and EJ a few times, and it looked like it was great. There just wasn't a whole lot of give out there. It was all take. So looking forward to Wednesday night. These guys might know a little better Wednesday night and race a little cleaner. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe we'll show up Wednesday night and have just as many cautions. But nonetheless, it was great. I think it's great that Elite and Chad, everybody at Elite is doing this, bringing these races on for this off-season type event. I hate that they're so close together, but I get it. It'd be nice if it was like one this week, maybe one right after New Year, something like that. But should be fun. Can't wait for Wednesday night, man. It was fun working with you one more time this year before we get working together again next year.
Yeah, definitely a fun one here tonight. Looking forward to Wednesday. My team just made the decision that we're going to unload our super late model, make a run at this one. So we'll see what we can do out on the racetrack. Maybe we'll have a shot to talk to you as a podium finisher, but who knows about that. Great race tonight. Congrats to Vince on the win. EJ on second. Carlos on rounding out the podium. Always cool to see Carlos Acosta up there. That guy doesn't get a lot of opportunities to hit the racetrack, but when he does, it's always cool to see him succeed. But got to thank Chad, got to thank Josh Adams, Dave Huckleberry, everyone behind the scenes that makes this thing run. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight and all season long, all year long with Chris and I on the broadcasts. And we hope you can join us Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Elite Racing Network for qualifying of the, I believe the race is called the Elite Winter Derby, and some money on the line for that one. So tune in, and on behalf of Chris Wright, myself, Robert Hill Jr., Josh Adams that joined us up here a bit as well, we're going to hit the Brent Jones quote of the day and say cheers, everybody, and we'll see you Wednesday night for the Elite Winter Derby. Have a good night, everybody.